Hello, every pony, and welcome to Ocarina of Time 3D. I am Serene Inc., and I will be accompanied by...
Hi everyone, I'm Sadia, aka Secret Supergirl. What's up, everyone?
yeah, like I said, we're playing Ocarina of Time 3D on, obviously, the 3DS. I do have Master Quest unlocked, as you can see, because I have completed the game once before. I haven't decided yet if we're going to do a Master Quest playthrough, but we're at least going to do a normal quest playthrough. So let's go ahead and step right into this. Standard name of Link.
In the name of the Triforce,
Oh,
we shall do. Oh.
I guess I
Dang
could've...
it, you ruined my line!
Sorry about that.
Now it's ruined, I can't do it again.
I realized that I could have created the file ahead of time. I figured that it would do it like an Ocarina of Time where it just started right off. But it didn't.
The children and the Kokoro live here with me, each Kokoro with his own fairy guardian. Aw, he looks so cute. However, there's one boy who doesn't have a fairy.
Whoops, I bumped the 3D thing.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I think I saw a little bit of a ship, but it wasn't, like, noticeable.
Yeah, that's because I just barely bumped it. I didn't, like, kick it all the way up or something. I just hit it just enough to barely activate it. So, yeah, yeah. Since the 3DS capture card only records in 2D, it actually records, I believe it's the right screen. I have the 3D feature turned off, but so we won't be like playing it in 3D or anything. Not that I can see 3D anyway.
Right.
I only have one eye, so I actually can't use the 3D feature. So since it. Climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces, even now, are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. If the Kokiri Forest is the source of life, then what does that mean for the Kokiri? Like, do they, like, grow up and then become Hylians, or how does that work?
They're gods. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they were the first race. I don't know.
They're Martians! They're Martians, everyone!
Fly,
okay,
baby.
I'm done.
Fly.
I'm done making remarks.
I'm gonna try not to shift the 3DS too much. When I was playing around with getting everything connected yesterday, I accidentally like shifted the 3DS and caused the 3DS like mic connection to just completely like screw up, and then the audio was all screwed up. I had to spend 5 minutes fixing it. I'm gonna try not to shift the 3DS too much while I'm doing this.
Aw, Navi put her head. Oh, I don't think she went for the friends in the original version. That's a little new.
Well, no, she flew after the fence and hit it in the original N64 version too.
I guess I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you look so adorable.
It's not as like
obvious.
Yeah.
Hey, he looks so adorable. I'm sorry.
Hyrule's destiny really depends on such a lazy boy. Link,
and yet he's gonna save the world, Majora's Mask 3D. And yes, that's been confirmed, everybody.
Yes, that was just confirmed recently, actually.
Yep.
Navi the Fairy, Deku Tree asked to meet you, yada yada yada.
And apparently Link is the same age because he looks the same in Majora's Mask.
I think that he's only like a year older in Majora's Mask either way. And you really don't change that much in just like a year. The reason that he looks older between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the Nintendo 64 is because they just updated his model. With the 3DS version, they started off with the updated model, so... Oh, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. It's great news I have for you. Are you a true Kokiri, Link? True, the great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Deku Tree. I'll wait here for you. Get going. Before I get too far, I need to... Options. Okay, yep. L targeting, camera control, motion control. Let's turn that off, actually. Save our progress. Continue. I don't know why I'm bothering to save when we just started, but whatever. So, first thing we need to do, obviously, is not go straight to the Deku Tree, because if we do, Mito will be there to block the way. So
As usual.
let's head over here to Mito's house, and we will open the treasure chests and steal some money from him.
You're a burglar! I apologize for randomness, I'm tired right now. I got back from doing something and now I'm just like tired. So I'm just like being random.
Right. Well, I mean, we are recording this at 1:30 in the morning, my time. Admittedly,
It's like 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 12. It's 10:20 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, admittedly that is like 10 your time, so it's not that late on your side, but I mean...
Yeah, but
still
I had a
10
big
o'clock.
day, so that's good.
Right. On the other hand, for me, 10 o'clock is like... I've only been up for like 4 hours at this point. So...
Oh.
Hmm?
I actually thought you were gonna get hit.
No, I was far enough away.
Yeah, but I didn't know the patterns. That's the thing.
That's the funny part. It goes around in a circle, but there's actually nothing to keep it from going towards you there. But yeah, it doesn't go towards you.
Link actually has shorts. That explains everything. He doesn't have his, thingy just hanging there. He's actually wearing shorts and possibly underwear. I don't know.
Who knows? Back then, back in medieval times, I don't know that that was a big thing. Plus with Nintendo's history of not actually displaying that kind of thing unless it's like in an older age.
Then again, this
Game?
is more detailed, so I guess they would do that for a reason.
Right.
Because in N64 it wasn't that detailed, you just assumed.
Pretty much. Hey, rupee collecting.
Woo! How long is this
Hopefully-
episode gonna be?
Usually 20 to 30 minutes per episode is usually what we do.
Okay.
And we now have... Oh, you. I don't need to talk to you. She just teaches me L targeting. Welcome. Let's buy ourselves a Deku shield. And with that, we have everything that we need. Whoops.
What if someone else came in and's like, I want a Deku Shield. Sorry, that kid just bought it.
He has other Deku shields there. Doesn't take
I
this
know,
one.
it's just something I just thought of.
This is something I think that I like about the 3DS version. It's much more animated. So like, you get things like... Oh yeah, I turned off the motion controls.
I like the origin of the Deku Shield in the manga better, because it just makes it more sentimental.
Yeah.
So,
For anybody who doesn't know about the Ocarina of Time manga, in the Ocarina of Time manga, he doesn't actually get the Kokiri sword or the Deku shield until after the Deku tree dungeon.
and he gets the Deku Shield by cutting off one of the Deku tree's wood and just pretty much makes a shield out of it.
Right.
So,
Need a-
so pretty much in Ocarina of Time, he's pretty creative.
And Mito actually has the
Sword.
Kokiri sword until after the Deku tree dungeon. In which case, after the Deku Tree dungeon, and after he gets the shield, Mito notices like how heroic Link looks, and so he gives him the sword.
Mm.
So the Ocarina of Time manga is pretty interesting, but it's kind of not canon at all.
I know it's not canon. I don't count it at all. It's just
yeah,
I just like to compare it sometimes, even though it's not legit.
yeah.
It's just more like I wouldn't say fan base, since the artists were not fans at all. They just decided, hey, let's make a manga out of it since it's so popular.
Right.
And of course, they got permission from Nintendo because it is official Nintendo product according to the mangas I have.
Yeah.
Which is all of them.
I mean, I don't really know, but I think Nintendo may have actually commissioned the manga, but I don't. Again, I'm not immediately familiar.
I think from what I read in the mangas, because I think they kind of talked about it, like in their little bios or whatever. I think they said they went to go ask them if they can do it, and they gave them permission. I think.
I only read the online version, like before the English
but
version.
If you had
was
the
released.
official version, you would read some of their little things. Like, they would have sketches of their characters. Not all of them had it. I think only like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask had it. Other than that, they didn't have it.
That rupee was bouncing something fierce.
Maybe there's a bunny inside.
I don't know. That's the first time I've seen, like, it do that. I've never seen it do that.
It's probably a glitch. Even the newer games have glitches in it. Like, one time, I was doing something on Death Mountain in this game, in this version, and I fell at just the right place, and I think I fell into some sort of void. Like, I was literally, like, just floating there, and eventually Link just fell like he normally does, and I was back on where I was.
Right.
So it was really weird just to see that in a new game.
I know that some of the Ocarina of Time N64 glitches were purposefully programmed in, because, you know, Ocarina of Time is such an iconic game and whatnot. So they decided to keep in a lot of the original glitches as well, just because. I mean, like, game-breaking glitches they fixed. But, like, some of the speedrunning tricks and things that people use, some of those things they actually kept in the game still. Which is pretty interesting. They didn't do that for Wind Waker, so.
I actually played the demo Wind Waker in Best Buy, and it was... it looked about the same, except maybe a little bit prettier, but nothing too exciting.
Yeah. Honestly, I've looked at the screenshots and things for Wind Waker, and I've looked at the I know what I'm trying to say. My brain is like not here.
And the original?
Yeah, like I've seen like screenshots of the original next to like screenshots of the new, and you can tell that there is a difference, but beyond like an added bloom effect, there really isn't that much of a difference. They don't look that heavily different.
Yeah.
Which is both good and bad. I mean, the added bloom effect is a little awkward in some spots where it looks really like dark because of the extra bloom, whereas it's supposed to have been more light, but I don't know, that's just a thing I noticed in like high definition games. To me it seems like high definition games are darker than non-high definition games. Like I had to turn up my high definition TV's brightness in order to like see as well with my high definition TV as I had with my non-high definition TV. Maybe it's just a thing with me and my poor eyesight, but it just seems darker. Like high definition stuff seems darker to me.
It's pretty, but I don't really care about it too much.
Yeah. You know, I never actually bother to come and get the compass, but I'm doing it for the recording just because.
But I'll say
usually,
this, if I ever get the Wii U version, I'll probably get it just because.
yeah, same here. If I ever get a Wii U, I will probably still get Wind Waker HD just because
Not because I support it, just because.
yeah, just for the sake of completing that Legend of Zelda collection, you know. I've been trying to collect all of the Zelda games. I
And
own
the
Zelda's
same goes
1
for
and
Majora's
1 through
Mask, you
3.
also get it.
Yeah.
I'm actually wanting to replay Majora's Mask. I haven't been. I want to play it. I've been itching to play
Oh
it.
crap, I forgot about you. I come up here so irregularly that I completely forgot this guy even existed.
And sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Ow.
Ouch.
That was not intelligent. Oh, come on. Look at me. Turn around. Thank you.
So I have to admit, the moon in the trailer was a lot creepier than in the N64 version. I will say that much.
The first thing I had to say about the Wind Waker. Wow, that was completely pointless to come over here. The first thing I had to say when I saw the Majora's Mask 3D trailer was that moon. Like the first time that moon shows up on the screen, I'm just going, that moon.
Oh god, yeah,
Terrifying.
it's actually really creepy. I mean, in N64 wasn't bad, but oh my god, they actually made it really scary in 3D version.
Yeah,
Good job, Nintendo.
they made that moon absolutely terrifying in the 3DS version. I cannot wait for it. I mean, I'm both excited for it and I'm not excited for it.
I'm excited.
So,
I don't know why. Even though
yeah.
I don't support the idea.
It's like Majora's Mask is technically my favorite Zelda game. If somebody were to ask what my favorite Zelda game is, I would say it's Majora's Mask. But only because Zelda 2, which would really be classified as my favorite, is just so bad gameplay wise. If they were to remake Zelda 2 with like nowadays style controls, I think that I would have to falter on my statement of Zelda, Majora's Mask is my favorite, because then Zelda 2 would not have all of the problems it has.
And also from what I read, Majora's Mask was actually in development since 2011, so technically the fans had nothing to do with the remake. It was just their idea.
Yeah.
And also, remember we were talking about Serene that one day where Miyamoto was having an interview, he laughed about the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to think he was just laughing because it was more like, haha, you got me sort of thing, even though he didn't really reveal it.
Right. It was kind of like, well, they know that it's in production, but I can't say anything. So I'm gonna kind of cryptically say these couple of things, and hopefully that'll just
Wait,
be
what did he
the end of
say?
it. From what I remember, he said something like, well, if the fans think that it would be a good thing to remake, if there's enough fans interested in it, I think we could do it. It's like, no, as it turns out, it was already in production.
I think he just revealed it.
So apparently it's been in
Yeah,
production since
I think he
before
did
he
reveal
said
it.
that. So,
He really did. GG.
yep. He's like, well, if fans, show enough interest in it, and that may have been like a thing, like it may have been in production since 2011, but after the fans showed such a desire of having it remade, it could have been put like higher on the priority list. And that may have been what he meant, but he was trying not to say it that way so that, fans didn't know that it was already in production. So, because I can see that, like, because when you're making games and such, you go with what's more popular at the moment. And so I can see Majora's Mask being made, not being like a high priority, but work being put into it, but not like...
Yeah, I mean, Majora's Mask
You know,
almost never existed. The only reason why it existed was because Anuma didn't like the idea of Master Quest.
well,
From
it's
what I
not that
read.
he... No, it's not that he didn't like it. But Asia Numa wanted to do a Zelda game. And after the popularity of Ocarina of Time, Shigeru Miyamoto actually went to Aonuma and said, hey, uh, you know, Zelda's really popular right now and whatnot, you know, with Ocarina of Time. I'm giving you a year to make another Zelda game. And so that was when he worked on Majora's Mask. The idea behind Master Quest, like it wasn't Master Quest. The Master Quest was going to be for the 64DD, the 64 disk drive, and unfortunately, at the point when Majora's Mask was in production, the 64 disk drive was doing really bad. Like it wasn't selling the way they had expected and whatnot. And so they ended up canceling it. Like they finished it, but they couldn't actually release it because it was for the 64 disk drive. And it used a lot of features that weren't available on the N64. Unfortunately, because of this, we've never actually had the true Ura Zelda released. You know, the game that was going to be on the 64 DD. Master Quest isn't actually, like, it's called Ura Zelda, but it's not actually Ura Zelda because of the fact that it doesn't, like, somebody's actually taken the Master Quest game and they can make it work on an N64 without any modifications or anything. And the idea of Ura Zelda, I cannot get that thing because I don't remember the trick to it. It's like you have to jump after you jump. I don't know. Anyway, but the idea with Ura Zelda was that it was going to use the 64 disk drive because it did things that wasn't available. The Ocarina of Time is technically an unfinished product. And that is my only beef with the 3DS version here, is it didn't complete the product. They never went in and completed the product, even when they had the chance. So,
Wait, what do you mean?
well, it's like they were gonna have like extra dungeons and
Oh, yeah.
other features, the things that could have been implemented in the remake, you know, for the 3DS, but weren't, and thus leaving Ocarina of Time as technically still an unfinished product. But at the same time, you know, I mean, if Nintendo says, okay, here's a remake, this is the finished product, you know, then what is in the 3DS remake is in fact the finished product, even though it's, as I've always put it, a port with enhanced gameplay and graphics. It's not a port because obviously it was recoded entirely from scratch. But the fact that they didn't change like any of the levels or anything, didn't add anything to the game other than fixing some gameplay issues and such, it feels like it's a port. So.
By the way, you're facing math. It's a joke my other friends came up with because its eye looks like a division sign. So yeah, there's a new joke for you.
Whoopsie, I did that horribly wrong. Oh well. So yeah, I think we may finish the first dungeon in the first episode. That was
Yay!
not what I anticipated, to be honest. But it just kind of ended up that way. Like, we're at almost... Oh, come on! What? That should not have happened at all.
Ooh.
I've never had these kinds of problems fighting Goma before.
It's the LP curse.
Something like that.
Oh, there it goes.
Yay! We beat the first dungeon in the first episode. Not like the
Link
first
is such
dungeon
a
of the game
brave
is
blue
hard.
boy.
But it's not like, this is hard or anything.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
we've cured the Deku tree.
Wait, did Link actually make a little grunt right there?
No.
Oh, never mind. I thought I heard him grunt for a second.
No.
Never,
I don't think so.
never mind.
Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have more yet to tell thee. Wouldst thou listen? Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreaded curse upon me. Yay! More information. This is my other problem with Ocarina of Time. I get that, like, the cinematic idea was, like, amazing back then, and this was absolutely amazing, especially since this was the first time we ever got a real feel for, like, the history of Zelda and whatnot. My problem is I've played this game literally 100 times, at least, and I'm not exaggerating that number. Watching this cutscene 100 times, it gets boring. It needs some kind of a cutscene skip. At least for this first section where, I mean, I've seen the
Yeah,
creation
they
of
could at
Hyrule.
least put a cutscene skip in this version. Why
Yeah.
they didn't do that, I don't know.
Stay true to the original, I guess. Not
I
like
know,
it matters.
but it's like...
I would have kept letting the cutscene run just for the sake of the recording anyway. But it's still like I've watched this cutscene like 100 times.
Yeah,
only
but
so
they could
many
at
times you
least
can
like
watch it.
implemented a skippable cutscene for the people. Like at first they could see it in 3D, of course, and then later on when they replay it again, they could skip it.
Right.
But why they do that? Well, you kind of explained why, but still.
Yeah. Again, they kept true to the original game, which, I mean, that's good, but that in itself is yet again the fault of Ocarina of Time 3D. It sticks true to the original game, where there are things from the original Ocarina of Time that needed fixing that weren't fixed because they stuck to the original game. This, massively long, 20-minute cutscene is one of them. It's not like 20 minutes long, it's only like 3 minutes, but still. I remember, I've got a story that I will talk about in the next episode that deals again with the cutscenes and whatnot. But once the Deku tree is done talking, we'll be done with this episode. So,
Yep.
I don't want to cut the video in the middle of, this whole thing going on. We are at almost 30 minutes though, so probably end the episode after we get the Kokiri Emerald. But still.
Looks like plastic.
I will say that having played the N64 version of this game and then coming back and playing this, the first time you play through it, it really is breathtaking because the graphics are so much better. It's more, circular, 3D, that kind of thing as opposed to, the polygonal look of the N64. So it really does look better. So that's why I'm excited for Majora's Mask 3D, because it'll look better. So
Yeah. I'm not sure when I'll get Majora's Mask 3. Depends on when I get the 3DS, because I'm getting the new one, which is coming out in 2015, and hopefully it'll come out in January or February.
Yep. Alright, well, that is that for this episode of Ocarina of Time 3D. I love how he storms off. He just doesn't really do that in the original 3DS version. So that is the thing or N64 version. That is the thing I love about the 3DS version is the animations are just much better, much more fluid than the N64. And I can't wait to see what they do with Majora's Mask because of that. Just one
Wonder if they're
reason
gonna
I'm
do a
excited
Master
for it.
Quest too.
Yeah. That I do wonder. Anyway, next episode we will head out of the Kokiri Forest and into Hyrule Field to go meet Princess Zelda at Hyrule Castle. So, if you've been enjoying the video, please feel free to subscribe if you're new. Also feel free to leave a rating and leave a comment. And we will see every pony in the next episode.
Hi everyone.
Keep calm and pony on, every pony.
Mhm.